Hello students, how are you all? I think this is the third lecture of chapter number 1 of class 9 science, that is matter in our surroundings. In the last two lectures we have learnt about the matter. What was the definition of a matter? Anything that occupies space and has mass is known as matter. We have also learnt that matter can be divided into small particles, and finally the last smallest particle is known as atoms. These atoms are too small to be seen by naked eye. The another thing we have learnt about these characteristics of these particles of matter, that matter is any compound made up of atoms and molecules. So these particles, not atom, if you don't remember the concept of atom, then you have to remember just that small particles. Each and every matter is made up of small particles, and these particles also possess some characteristics, that is they have attraction between them, they are continuously moving, they have space between them. According to these three characteristics, we have different states of matter, that is different types of matter, that is solid, liquid and gas. Clear? So we have general three states of matter. Actually we have learned there are 5 states of matter, that is solid, liquid, gas, plasma and Bose-Einstein condensate. But in this chapter only we are going to learn about 3 states of matter, that is solid, liquid and gas. In somewhat free time we will also learn about or give you information about what is plasma and what is Bose-Einstein condensate in detail. But we have learnt about the characteristics of the and properties of solid, liquid and gas also. That solid have high attraction between the particles, in liquid the attraction between the particles is not as high as the solid, somewhat lesser than the solid, and in the gaseous particles they do not have attraction at all between the particles. In the solid, particles only vibrate at their position, they do not move from one place to another. In liquid, particles can move from one place to another, that is fluidity. In solid, the particles cannot move, that is rigidity. In gas, particles can move at very high speed. Clear? So they can also move from one place to another, that is also fluidity. In solid, as the attraction is high, the particles are close to each other, it means they do not have large spaces between them. Liquids have somewhat spaces between them, and gaseous particles have large spaces between them. There is a huge spaces between the gaseous particles. Now, today we are going to learn about change in states. Are these states convertible? So what are the changes? The many changes we are seeing in our surroundings. There are many changes occurring in our surroundings. For example, as and when we bring the ice cubes or ice from the freezer, from the fridge or from the freezer, we are taking out the ice and keeping it at a normal temperature outside, then it starts converting into liquid. It starts converting into liquid. If the same liquid is kept undisturbed at this normal temperature, then in 3 to 4 hours it gets converted into gas. So these are the changes that we are seeing, that solid is getting converted into liquid, liquid is converting into the gas, then gas can also be converted into liquid and liquid can also be converted into solid. So these states are interconvertible, they can be interconverted. Solid can be converted into liquid, liquid can be converted into solid, liquid can be converted into gas, gas can be converted into liquid. So how this change occurs and what these changes are known as. So when any liquid changes, starting from the solids, when solid changes into liquid, then it is known as melting, Clear? When any liquid is converted into solid, then it is known as freezing, melting, freezing. When any liquid gets converted into gas, then it is known as vaporization. When any gas gets converted into liquid, then it is known as condensation. Clear? When there are two more concepts about, these are the concepts that you learned or you heard about these concepts in the lower standards, either into 7, 8, anywhere. But there are two more concepts, that solid can be directly converted into gas. Solid can directly be converted into gas. See, we have taken an example of the ice. Here today we have taken the example of ice. Ice gets melted into liquid, and liquid gets vaporized into the gas. Evaporation. Clear? Vaporization means evaporation. You can also say as evaporation or vaporization. That is one and the same thing. Either you can write evaporation or vaporization. Clear? So now solid gets converted into liquid and liquid gets converted into vaporization. So it is not a direct conversion of solid into liquid. So there are many solids. There are many solids which can directly get converted from solid to gas. Solid to gas, and that process is known as sublimation. That process is known as sublimation. For example, camphor. camphor that we use during the दीवाबत्ती करने के टाइम पे हम यूज करते हैं, that is camphor. What is camphor? Kapoor. Camphor means kapoor. Yes or no? That we use during the pujas. So that is Kapoor. Kareena Kapoor nahi, Ranbir Kapoor nahi, that is simple Kapoor. Camphor. So that gets converted from solid into gas. Kapoor directly gets converted from solid into gas, that is camphor. Similarly, there are many gases which can be directly converted into solid. So if gas gets converted into solid, then that process is known as deposition. That process is known as deposition. Clear? That process is known as deposition. So what is solid into liquid? That is conversion of solid ice cubes, solid ice into liquid, that is melting. As and when we put the ice outside the freezer, then it gets melting, then it starts melting. Liquid to solid, the same thing. Fill a bowl with the water, put it into the freezer, then liquid will get converted into solid, that was freezing. So and so it name states as freezer or freeze, because it's converts liquid into solid, that is freezing. Liquid into gas, obviously that is conversion of liquid into gas. As and when we put anything outside or we spread the water anywhere, then after few hours it gets evaporated, it gets converted into gas. So there is no sort of magic. There water was present, after few hours water was absent. Where did the water go? It got converted into gas. So that is vaporization or evaporation. Gas can converted into liquid. Gas gets converted into liquid. Simple. Fill a glass of water with a freezing cold water. Fill a glass with water. Which water? Freezing cold water. It means the water that we have put in the freeze. So now it is still a water. We have not put the water into the freezer, so it will not get converted into solid. But now the water which was put into the water bottle into the freeze, now fill the glass with that water. So on the outer surface of the glass, we will see the small water droplets present after 1 minute only. Why? Because inside the glass there is a freezing cold water. So outside the glass, because of the low temperature, the gas got converted into liquid, that is condensation. The same process by which the cloud gases gets converted into liquid water, because of which the rain happens. As and when because of the heat of the sun, water gets evaporated from the oceans, and as and when it gets cooled down, again the liquid vapor gets gaseous vapor gets converted into liquid water, and that brings rain. Now solid into gas. What is the example of solid into gas? Camphor, kapoor, that is used in the pujas. So that is solid into gas. When solid gets converted into gas, that is sublimation. Similarly, the gas can also be converted into solid, that is deposition. Clear? Getting it here? So these are the processes that are known as the interconvertible. Now how they can be converted from one state to another? How they can be converted from one state to another. So we have two simple parameters. We have two simple parameters that two simple parameters are temperature and pressure. By using these two parameters, we can convert any of these state into another state. By using temperature and pressure, we can convert solid into liquid, liquid into solid, liquid into gas, gas into liquid, solid into gas, gas into solid. By using temperature. By using pressure, we have a limitation. By using pressure, we have a limitation. We cannot apply high pressure onto these solids and liquids. They do not change that much. Why? Because of condensation, because of compression. What do we mean by compression? Compression means if we are pressing something, then it gets compressed, the size decreases. For example, duster. If we are pressing something, then its size decreases. That is compression. So the compression of solid cannot be done. The compression on liquid is negligible. By the compression, we cannot convert liquid into solid. Clear? But by using pressure or by compressing gas, gas can be converted into liquid. By compressing gas, it can be converted into liquid. That is LPG cylinders, liquefied petroleum gas. It was gas, but it is now liquefied. How? By applying pressure, by compressing. So what happens in the compression? The gaseous particles are moving apart from each other. Why? Because they do not have attraction. They have a large spaces. See, this is a gaseous particles moving far from each other. But as and when the pressure is applied, they move towards each other. So now the distance between them decreases. The distance between them decreases such that, or that much low distance it keeps, that it gets converted from gas to liquid. So when we apply pressure, then gas gets converted into liquid. Or if we decrease the pressure, of any liquid, then it gets converted into gas. Getting it? If the pressure is decreased, then liquid is converted into gas. If we increase the pressure, then the gas is converted into liquid. Now what about the temperature? If temperature increased, then solid gets converted into liquid. Clear? Why? Because as the temperature increases, heat. Clear? So as the temperature increases, the solid gets melted into liquid. In which place there is high temperature? Inside the freeze or outside the freeze? Inside the freeze there is 2 degree freezer. Inside the freezer there is temperature less than 0 degree. There is minus temperature, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4 degrees Celsius temperature inside the freezer. But outside the fridge we have normal temperature, 25 degrees Celsius, 30 degrees Celsius, 35 degrees Celsius. Yes or no? Clear? So as on solid the temperature increases from minus 4 to 30-35 degrees Celsius, it gets converted into liquid. So as the temperature increases, solid gets converted into liquid. So here temperature increases. How can we convert liquid into the solid? By putting a bowl filled with liquid into the freeze. By putting a bowl filled with the liquid into the freezer. More probably freezer. So why? Because at the normal temperature water remains in liquid state. That is at 30-35 degrees Celsius, 20-25 degrees Celsius temperature. That is our normal temperature and pressure. It remains in liquid state. As and when we put the bowl filled with water into the freezer has a very cold temperature, very cold environment. That is, the temperature will be minus 4. So temperature was decreased. To convert liquid into the solid. So here temperature decreases. What about the liquid to gas? How liquid can be converted into gas? So as and when we put the water, a bowl filled with water onto the gas stove, and as and when we start the stove, it gets heating up and water can be easily converted into gas. Water can be easily converted into gas. Clear? So as we increase the temperature, it gets converted from liquid to gas. Similarly, as we decrease the temperature, it gets converted from gas to liquid. Same thing happens here. When the temperature of the solid increases of some compounds, it gets directly converted into gas without changing into solid, that is sublimation. So here also temperature increases, and if temperature increases, the same compound gets converted from gas to solid, Clear? Getting it? That is deposition. See, not each and every compound can be directly converted from solid to gas. There are quite few questions for few compounds in which only we can convert solid into gas. There are not each and every compound which can be easily converted from solid to gas. There are few exceptional compounds which can only be converted from solid to gas without converting into liquid, and there are similarly only few compounds which can be directly converted from gas into solid, the same compounds. Clear? Exceptions, there are only few exceptions, and that are known as sublime compounds, and the conversion of solid into gas is known as sublimation, and the compounds which get directly converted from gas into the solid is known as that by the process of deposition. Clear? Not each and every compound can be converted from solid to gas directly. There is always an intermediate state liquid. For a few seconds, for a 1 second, for a half second, for a microsecond, there will be a liquid in most of the compounds. Clear? So why? Because directly if you are putting a ice cube onto a lava on a volcano, clear, then it gets evaporated, but for a fraction of a second there will be a liquid, so it is not possible any time that any ice cube can be directly converted into vapor or a gas. But there are only few lesser compounds then which can be converted from solid to gas without a fraction of a second. It is not converted into liquid. Not for a fraction of a second it is converted into liquid, that directly gets converted into solid into gas. Clear? So we are not able to see the liquid state in between, intermediate state is not present, solid gets directly converted into gas by the process of sublimation. See, you have to remember these processes. Solid to liquid is known as melting, liquid to solid is known as freezing, liquid to gas is known as vaporization, gas to liquid is known as condensation, solid to gas is known as sublimation, gas to solid is known as deposition, vaporization can also be known as evaporation. Clear? Evaporation or vaporization, that is one and the same thing. You can also say evaporation or we can also say vaporization. Clear? Getting it? Yes or no? So by using temperature we can convert the states. Now what is temperature? So temperature is not any physical quantity, it is not any simple matter quantity. Clear? Temperature can be known as the quantity which is used in the physics. So such as a physical quantity it can be present, but actually we cannot see temperature. What temperature is here? We cannot see temperature. It means it do not have a mass, it do not occupy space, so it is not a matter. So temperature is not a matter, but it is a quantity by which we can convert one state of matter into the another. So such quantity also possesses the units. How can we measure temperature? We can measure mass by kg, by using the unit kg, kilogram, gram, milligram. We can measure the volume by meter cube, centimeter cube or liters. We can also measure the speed by meter per second, centimeter per second, kilometer per hour. Similarly, we can measure temperature in 3 different units. What are those 3 different units? That is degree Celsius, degree Fahrenheit and Kelvin. These are the 3 units by which we can measure temperature: degree Celsius, degree Fahrenheit and Kelvin. In Kelvin we do not use degree. Degree Celsius can also be converted into Kelvin and degree Celsius can also be converted into degree Fahrenheit. That is quite simple. Clear? So for converting degree Celsius into the Fahrenheit. So if anything is given in the, for example, 30 degree and you want the answer in degree Fahrenheit, if the value is given in the degree Celsius, then you want the answer in degree Fahrenheit, then how can you convert one unit of temperature into the another? That how can we convert degree Celsius into the degree Fahrenheit, or we can convert degree Celsius into the Kelvin? How? So it is a quite simple method here. Let us try. If there is a 30 degree Celsius and you want to convert in the Kelvin, then just add 30 degree plus 273. Clear? So how can we do that? 30 degree plus 273, then that will be equals to 303 Kelvin temperature. 303 Kelvin temperature. So it means for converting degree Celsius into Kelvin, degree Celsius into the Kelvin, then it can be added with degree Celsius plus 273. Degree Celsius plus 273. Similarly, if you convert Kelvin, then degree Celsius is equals to Kelvin minus 273. Clear? Getting it? If Celsius is given, then add plus 273, then you will get answer in Kelvin. If Kelvin is given, then minus 273, then it will give you answer in degree Celsius. Then it will give you answer in degree Celsius. Clear? So now if you want to convert solid into liquid, then if it is given at a melting point of any compound, then you have to just convert that melting point into degree Celsius. You can convert that melting point into the degree Fahrenheit, as well as you can convert that into the Kelvin. Clear? Getting it? So all these states are interconvertible by using the temperature. The temperature also has few units, that is degree Celsius, that is degree Fahrenheit, as well as it has Kelvin, So now how can we convert degree Celsius into the degree Fahrenheit? If I want to convert solid into liquid, for example water, then the melting point of the water is 0 degree Celsius. 0 degree Celsius. Then how can I convert? Then I can convert degree Celsius into 5 upon 9. Degree Celsius into 9 upon 5. Degree Celsius into 9 upon 5 plus 32. Similarly, for degree Celsius, if Fahrenheit is given, then you can say Fahrenheit minus 32 into 5 upon 9. Clear? So it is somewhat confusing. The conversion of degree Celsius into Fahrenheit and Fahrenheit into degree Celsius. But as and when we solve the example, if there is a 0 degree Celsius, then 0 into 9 by 5 plus 32, that is 0 into anything, that will be 0 plus 32, that is equals to 32 degree Fahrenheit. Clear? So by this way we can convert degree Celsius, the amount of degrees given, into 9 by 5 plus 32. If Fahrenheit is given and you have to convert into degree Celsius, and Fahrenheit minus 32 into 5 by 9. Into 5 by 9. So that is quite simple. Clear? Getting it? If you want to convert into the Kelvin, then Kelvin it is quite easy. Degree Celsius plus 273. If Kelvin is given and you have to convert into degree Celsius, then Kelvin minus 273, then directly answer will be 8 degree Celsius. Clear? So let us keep it for this now. Read it out, the whole topic from your textbook, the conversion of states. How can we convert solid into liquid, liquid into gas? How can we convert gas into liquid, liquid into solid? By using temperature. As well as how can we convert degree Celsius into Fahrenheit and Fahrenheit into degree Celsius? How can we convert degree Celsius into Kelvin and Kelvin into degree Celsius? Now if question is asked that convert degree Fahrenheit into Kelvin, then first convert degree Fahrenheit into degree Celsius and then degree Celsius into Kelvin. Clear? Then convert Fahrenheit into degree Celsius and degree Celsius into Kelvin. Now opposite thing is asked, convert Kelvin into Fahrenheit, then first convert Kelvin into degree Celsius and then convert degree Celsius into Fahrenheit. Clear? Few examples are also given in the textbook and few questions are also given in the textbook. try to solve it on your own from the NCERT textbooks. And today's homework, complete the in-text questions up to the temperature parameter, up to the temperature. Also see the activity given in the temperature. How can we convert solid ice cubes into the liquid state? What do we mean by latent heat? This is your homework. You have to find what do we mean by latent heat. Clear? So you have to find what do we mean by latent heat. Complete the classwork, complete the homework. Thank you very much.